This weekend was a boring one for Liverpool fans as the club's Premier League fixture against Fulham was postponed due to the London side playing Manchester United in the FA Cup. This weekend marks the last sets of fixtures as we head into the international break, which means we won't see Liverpool in action until the 1st of April. However, there is still news emerging throughout the club, and in today's video we have some big Mo Salah news, along with a major update surrounding a Liverpool midfielder. Not only that, we'll also go over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Incredibly, despite their startingly inconsistent form, Liverpool was still in contention for a top 4 finish, with signs of an implosion at Tottenham. The positivity of a 5-game unbeaten run, including 4 wins, was rapidly deflated over 5 days as the Reds lost 1-0 to Bournemouth before exiting the Champions League. That defeat at Dean Court served as a reminder of the task at hand for Jurgen Klopp this summer, but the job is not done yet in this current campaign. Despite only recently hitting the magic 40-point mark that would traditionally confirm a club could not be relegated, and losing 8 of their last 26 games in the league, Liverpool still have a convincing case for top 4. On the conclusion of a weekend in which they did not play due to the postponement of their clash with Fulham, the Reds still sit 7 points behind 4th place Spurs. They do so with 2 games in hand on Antonio Conte's side, who look to be on the brink of a collapse following their 3-3 draw with Southampton. After Spurs surrendered a 3-1 lead to share the points with the league's bottom side, Conte employed his post-match interviews to deliver an attack on the club's ambition both on and off the pitch. He said, "They're used to it here. They're used to it. They don't play for something important, yeah. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. It is the easy in this way. Tottenham's story is this: 20 years there is an owner and they never won something, but why? I see only 11 players that play for themselves." It was a remarkable outburst from the Italian manager, who appears to be trying his hardest to provoke the sack before the end of the season when his contract expires. Of course, that is not to say that Conte is not right. Whether Spurs will pull the trigger remains to be seen, but either way it is far from an ideal situation for a club who had hopes of a top 4 finish. Like Liverpool, Spurs have lacked consistency in their results, which is a trend across all 20 teams in a Premier League season, clearly impacted by the Winter World Cup. Win their 2 games in hand against Fulham and Chelsea, the latter of whom drew 2-2 with Everton on Saturday evening, and the Reds would be a point behind Tottenham. However, there is also a matter of Newcastle, who look set to slip at Nottingham Forest only to win late on as Alexander Isaac's penalty earned a 2-1 victory. Newcastle are in a stronger position than Liverpool with 2 games in hand on Spurs with just 2 points to catch up. So too technically are Brighton, who are on the same number of points as Klopp's side, having played a game fewer. Brentford's 1-1 draw with Leicester saw their hopes fade slightly, while Fulham have only picked up 1 point from their last 3 games to cast strong doubts over an already unlikely Champions League push. With 12 games left to play in the league, there is certainly still plenty to strive for at Anfield. Ben Doak has pulled out of duty with the Scotland under-21s, with the Liverpool winger not put at risk after a head injury suffered on Tuesday. Doak was visibly rocked in the opening stages of the under-19 UEFA Youth League clash with Sporting Lisbon earlier this week, forcing him off in the 9th minute. It came after a blow to the head as the young Reds lost 1-0, though manager Barry Lutis explained afterwards that he was able to recover. The teenager flew back from Portugal with the rest of the squad and was due to link up with the Scotland under-21s for the 2nd time later this month. However, Doak has now withdrawn from contention for friendlies against Sweden and Wales as a precaution following concussion protocol. The Herald have reported the news, with the 17-year-old instead remaining on Merseyside, where he will recover and resume training. It is a setback for Doak, but one which is unlikely to hamper his progress with Scotland, with under-21s manager Scott Gemmell eager to integrate him as soon as possible. Doak's withdrawal leaves 25 Liverpool players on international duty this month, including 13 academy youngsters. Following new claims that Mohamed Salah would consider his options at the end of the season with a possible move to Spain, his agent has responded. A story from Foot Mercato's Sante Auna on Saturday claimed that Salah was increasingly considering leaving this summer. Confidently claiming on an exclusive, the prolific transfer reporter explained that the Egyptian could seek new meaning elsewhere, with Spain his preferred destination. This, of course, come at a time when Liverpool is struggling, having exited the Champions League to a 6-2 aggregate loss to Real Madrid and sitting 6th in the Premier League. ynwa's tweet gained significant traffic with 2.6 million views, while a number of UK publications picked up the story in pursuit of clicks. But as expected, there is no truth to this exclusive, with Salah's agent Rami Abbas taking to Twitter to publicly call out Hana. Quoting Hana's initial tweet, Abbas asked, "Where did you get this from? Not even Mohammed and I discussed it. Please tell us." It was a welcome update from Salah's representative, though one which arguably was not even needed given the number 11 signed a new 3-year contract in July. Putting pen to paper last summer, the 30-year-old earned a wage of around £350,000 a week, which is comfortably the most of any Liverpool player that has ever been paid. At the time, Salah only had 12 months remaining on his previous deal, and was therefore in a strong position to push for that move according to ynwa's imagination he could have hoped for. Instead, he stayed put, and though the Reds find themselves in the mire, has become only the second player in the club's history to score 20 or more goals in 6 consecutive seasons. Salah has 22 goals in 39 games so far this term, along with 11 assists, with Ian Rush the only other player to achieve the feat for Liverpool. There is no cause to question his commitment, nor his value to the club, with few in the world producing at a more consistently prolific rate than Salah. Julian Ward will leave Liverpool at the end of the season after resigning from his job as sporting director, and will now join a new club in Europe. It is arguably the biggest appointment the club need to land in the coming months, either on or off the pitch, with a new sporting director of paramount importance. 4 months on from the news of Ward's resignation, however, there appears to have been no movement when it comes to finding his successor. Work will be going on behind the scenes, of course, but links with Monaco's Paul Mitchell and Eintracht Frankfurt's Marcus Krusch have already been quashed, along with claims of interest in ex-Dortmund's chief scout Sven Mislintat. There have even been suggestions that Dave Fallows, currently Liverpool's chief scout, could be promoted to a role that oversees all incomings and outgoings. But while there have been no clarification at this stage, with only 2.5 months until the transfer window opens, Ward has sealed a deal to join Ajax. That is according to the Mirror's Simon Mullock, who claims that Ward has agreed to join the Dutch club after a breakthrough over financial terms in talks with chief executive Edwin van der Sar. His first day in the job, it is reported, will be July 1st. This news comes after almost 6 weeks of speculation over a move to Ajax, with Ward also attracting interest from Nice in France. While there is said to be non-compete clause in his contract with Liverpool to avoid an immediate move to a Premier League rival, that does not apply to clubs outside England. Dutch journalist Mike Vergevel did tell De Telegraph's Kickoff podcast on Friday that Ward's salary remained an issue in talks, but Mullock's update suggested that the obstacle has now been overcome. It will certainly be an interesting job for Ward, who has previously worked in Portugal, Spain and South America, with Ajax's squad in constant evolution. But where it leaves Liverpool is unclear, with the role of a sporting director a vital one when it comes to talks over signing sales and new contracts. Heading into the summer without a replacement for Ward in place at a time when Jurgen Klopp's squad is desperate need of rebuild could be costly. Liverpool fans, what do you make of Mo Salah's agent coming out about his future? And do you think we'll get top 4 this season? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.